A symbol of the economic crisis facing Lebanon. The BBC speaks to a Lebanese MP who held up a bank to take out her own money.
I apologize to all the people I frightened. But how does that compare to the despair, anger, and grief I feel every day?
In Lebanon, banks are refusing to allow people to withdraw money from their accounts because of the country's currency plummeting in value. The BBC's Rachel Thorne spoke to one woman who held up a bank with a toy gun. Some viewers may find scenes in this report upsetting.
This woman is about to rob a bank. She's using a toy gun, but those inside don't know that, and they're terrified. Last month, 27-year-old Sally Hafiz stormed a branch in Lebanon's capital Beirut, along with her sister and 2 other accomplices. But this wasn't a typical bank heist. Sally and her sister took $13,000 of their own money. Now on the run, she says she had no other choice.
I lost hope. I was desperate because my sister was dying.
Sally's other sister Nancy has a brain tumour, but the family can't access their savings to pay for her treatment because of withdrawing restrictions imposed by banks.
It was a toy gun. Someone could have had a heart attack or pulled their own gun. Do you accept that you put people at risk?
Even if that did happen, it would be the banks to blame, and not me. I apologize to all the people I frightened. But how does that compare to the despair, anger, and grief I feel every day, knowing my sister is dying?
People raiding banks to retrieve their own money is becoming more common in Lebanon. In September, there were 5 robberies in just one day. And that's because people are struggling. Since the financial crisis in 2019, banks have stopped people from withdrawing more than $400 a month, while the Lebanese pound has lost 90% of its value.
Banks have only partially reopened since the latest raids. People here have been queuing, filing in one by one just to use an ATM. And that's people with savings. More than 3/4 of this population are now living in poverty.
Lebanon's interior minister has condemned the raids, saying security forces would impose law and order. And at the bank Sally held up, the chairman says they're pressing charges.
Well, definitely it is wrong to try to get money by force or by violence. This is we are a country of a law. I mean, we have to have laws. Really, I can understand their anger, and we are angry also about the situation. The number one, by far, responsibility is on the politicians in this country.
Lebanon's lawmakers have been slow to respond to the economic crisis, and negotiations for a bailout from the International Monetary Fund continue to drag. Without decisive political action, the future for Lebanese people is increasingly bleak. Rachel Thorne, BBC News, Beirut.